Hello, welcome to this tropical update for Asia and also for Oceania. So in this video we'll look a lot at the tropics around Southeast Asia and Oceania, and in a future video, probably later this weekend, we'll take a look at Europe and Northern Asia, the snow and winter weather stuff. So stay tuned for that, both in Europe and Asia. But now let's see here. So the most urgent thing happening, of course, is Cyclone Fina about to make landfall northern Australia and the Northern Territory. This is the first named storm of the season there, and it's already got category 2 strength over the ocean. Now it's slightly weaker, but it's approaching land pretty fast. And the European model has this going towards Darwin still. By Saturday, it has a lot of heavy rain there, maybe even torrential rain with the system. And then Saturday, Sunday still shows affecting the Northern Territory by Sunday, and then later into Western Australia, possibly like Northwestern Australia, Monday still shows a little bit of rain, some storms from the leftovers. So please stay safe in those areas. They do have another satellite imagery here. You can see those pinks to purples, the very high cloud tops, some very deep convection in the system. And the current track takes it right in this direction, passes just northwest of Darwin and goes further southwest towards northwestern Australia. So all along this coastline, please be careful damaging winds and storm surge, but especially some flooding and heavy rain. So the GFS takes it in the same direction. A few members go a little bit further west or further south, but this same general direction. The Canadians trending like going further south into Western Australia after it passes through the Northern Territory. So please be careful in those areas and stay safe. Today is Friday the 21st, and in Australia time it's already almost Saturday morning. So throughout the next 5 days until Wednesday the 26th shows some 370 millimeters, spots Northern Territory some 400 millimeters in a few areas. So please stay safe, especially in these towns and cities here, like Darwin, some 329 millimeters there could be very problematic, especially in a city like that, and these other towns all above 300 millimeters, even 325. So please be careful with flooding, especially flash flooding and urban flooding. So please stay safe. Don't drive through floods and be smart. Please be careful. Shows there across some areas further south, 200 to 300, and then this curves slightly away from the coast, but still some areas as far south as Wade, some 75 millimeters or more. So please be careful. And then later, the remnants of this might approach northwestern Australia with slightly more than 100 meters. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. And right now, where it is now, just north of this island, does show some 360 meters, 335 meters in this island. So please stay safe. It's practically it's already affecting you now. So stay safe. Just let's see the GFS, those 5 days. It shows a similar thing. It has a little bit less because it showed like some 258 in Darwin and the European had 300, but that would already cause a lot of flooding. The difference is that GFS is stronger when it gets to the coast of northwestern Australia, like some 377 millimeters on the northern coast of Western Australia. So please be mindful that this is a possibility as well. The icon is like it does pass through Darwin in those areas, and the icon is very aggressive, like 500 meters, northern coast of the Northern Territory, some 498, like 500 meters in Darwin. That will cause like catastrophic flooding, very dangerous. So this Every model has a different amount, so don't base yourselves on that, but just be aware that this might cause some significant flooding. Let's see the axis because it might have some different values. It shows the worst stays out to sea and does have some 300 millimeters in Darwin, slightly more than the European, and it shows some 400 right in the immediate coast there, just west of Darwin. So please stay safe in those areas. And the flooding can be serious. I'm very serious with this. So please stay safe. The flooding can be very dangerous. So warn others, and the exact wind gusts is hard to estimate, but let's see the European model because I trust it more for wind gusts than the GFS. So it does show like some 313 km per gust already happening now. Not 300, 100, 111, 113. They're in the immediate north of the Northern Territory in those islands. And then Friday, it does show it picking up a little bit across near the northern coast, right in between this peninsula here and this island. It show like some 134 km per gust in the immediate southeastern coast of the island, and does show a few spots there, like in extreme northern territories, 115 over the ocean. It does show like as it comes inland, some 149, potentially more than 150 km per gust there across the northern coast and the southern coast of this island. So please stay safe. And then later to Saturday night, shows there in Darwin, potentially more than 150 km per gust across Darwin, and these other towns as well, more than 145 km per gust. So please stay safe. This can be very dangerous. These wind gusts can cause a lot of damage, plus the flooding even more dangerous. So please stay safe in those areas, like more than 152 km per gust, and further west. So Saturday, this goes shows there like 152 km per gust further south on the coast. Then Saturday, Sunday, this goes further southwest, and it does get stronger right over the ocean between Northern Territory and Western Australia. So Sunday there, the 23rd, it gets stronger, but then it weakens a little bit. Sunday into Monday shows it making landfall in northern Western Australia, 101, 102 km per gusts potentially. So please be aware the GFS is similar. The icon still over the ocean by Monday, so the icons is a little bit slower, but it does have some stronger gusts in the northern coast there by Tuesday. So please stay safe in those areas. And this is a serious system. Be careful and have your final preparations done across Darwin for the wind and flooding. So please stay safe in those areas and warn others. So please be careful. Let's check our next tropical threat now developing near the Philippines. So there's still nothing there now, but from Saturday, some more local showers and storms across spots of Vietnam. The Philippines Sunday shows more tropical moisture by Monday, gathering near the Philippines. Then it does show some very heavy rain Monday, the 24th until Wednesday. It actually tries to develop this by next Thursday in the South China Sea. Shows like a weak tropical storm possible there near Vietnam by next weekend. So by like almost by December 1st, November 29th, you might have something near Vietnam. So please be aware those areas. The tropical storm probabilities in the Philippines now are like some 50 to 60% or even like low 70% there remain in the South China Sea because before it was trending that it might form before it reaches the Philippines, but now it's showing more in the South China Sea, the higher probability. So please be careful. And by the 28th next week shows like some very 70 to 80% probabilities the South China Sea possibly. So Friday, Saturday, and then this weekend. So be aware those areas. And here in the South Pacific, we're also watching near Fiji and Tonga and Samoa. In those areas, a possible tropical threat. The European shows some tropical storm probabilities by next Tuesday, the 25th, right, to like 40% near Fiji in those areas. 30 to 40% Tuesday, and then Wednesday the area grows a little bit, and there's that green like 40 to 50%, and then by Thursday the 27th it weakens already. But better watch this there. The tropical depression probability is already to like 50-60%, the tropical depression probability north of Fiji. So this goes by Tuesday the 25th, shows even some 60 to 70% tropical depression probabilities north of Fiji, and some 50 to 60 right over Fiji, and then remains some high probabilities until Wednesday, the 26th, and then later uh, decreases. So please be aware, and not saying anything will form, but there's a good chance it might form. So let's see here, like first some rainfall. So shows there I already showed you for Australia. So let's see the Philippines. The European shows like some 300 millimeters. A few islands, Central Philippines 290 shows 190. A few spots there, and then like some 148. A few islands in the Central Eastern Philippines, even like 200. Even Luzon, like the European shows some 447 millimeters in Luzon next 5 days, mainly the East Coast and spots there, Central, Northern Luzon. So please be careful in the Philippines because with this the disturbance approaching, you might have some very heavy rain, especially if this starts developing to a tropical storm right over the Philippines or before. Most guidance are showing it will become tropical storm later, but you never know. The GFS is much stronger. The GFS has like some 200 meters, almost 300 widespread in some spots. There like 326 the GFS. So please be aware. The icon is like not much the icon, but it does show like the east coast of North Central Luzon and spots there the east coast of Central Philippines. So be careful in those areas and stay safe, especially if this decides to form before. So let's see here some models first for the Philippines and then for Fiji and the Southwestern Pacific. So the GFS shows like this disturbance goes straight from a tropical storm before making landfall. Then it passes as a tropical storm there through the central Philippines into the South China Sea. But the GFS doesn't go towards Vietnam, it curves into the Philippines again. So it's kind of a weird scenario on the GFS. But it does show like the European shows those showers and storms there, and then it does try to form a low pressure before reaching the Philippines, but only becomes a tropical storm afterwards. So that's another scenario too. And the Canadian model shows like this goes, it tries to develop into a tropical storm before reaching the Philippines, and then goes, and then the South China Sea might strengthen a little bit. So the Canadians kind of trying to form this before as well. So just be careful in the Philippines and warn others because next week you might have some very heavy rain, potentially a tropical storm. So be careful. Now for rainfall in the southwestern Pacific. There's Fiji there next 5 days until next Wednesday, the 26th. Shows spots there through 162 millimeters, and a few spots across central Fiji. Just 1 second. And shows like, especially further north and east, some 200 meters, a few areas 239 from these storms next week. But whether it will be tropical or not is still to be determined, because here on the European model shows a lot of scattered showers and storms through Fiji, Samoa, spots in Vanuatu, Solomon Islands. So this goes and shows like this first wave of moisture south of Fiji might not be tropical, because this looks more extra tropical, but it might leave this trail of some strong showers and storms crossing right over Fiji and Tonga as well. Samoa is further north and east, but Fiji should get the most of it. So it shows until Tuesday more heavy rains central Fiji and Tonga as well. Then later by Wednesday still shows some showers and storms around Fiji, especially Wednesday, Thursday, and after Wednesday might start affecting Samoa a little bit more showers and storms near Samoa there. Thursday, but he doesn't show any big tropical cyclone, just showers and storms. But the probability of a quick tropical depression is still moderate to high. So just keep that in mind. And then the GFS is like, it shows even more the GFS. If I zoom in completely, it shows some 311 millimeters in Fiji next 5 days. So please be aware. The icon shows like, the icon is very not excited recently, shows just 154. And then the axis, it shows slightly more, some 182. So the European is right in the middle, not too much, not too little, but it does show some 170 millimeters. This might already cause flooding spots in Fiji. So please be careful next week, especially between Monday and Wednesday. And still after that, there will still be showers and storms. So be careful. Shows in Papua New Guinea some heavy tropical showers and more showers and storms, the Solomon Islands as well. So be aware in those areas. And here, let's see if there's the South Pacific. The Canadian does show there's Cyclone Fina, the Northern Territory there. And these areas of showers and storms, they try to form a low pressure, but then just a southern low pressure dominates, more extratropical. But there's some scared areas that might try to form into a low pressure, but I'm seeing no evidence for a big tropical cyclone. This might be more of a heavy rain event, but just keep monitoring the local updates, because this rain might be pretty heavy. So be careful. Those areas across Fiji, French Polynesia is showing a lot as well. In Papete, next 5 days, 178 millimeters. Spots there in the central atolls and further east as well. Some heavier showers and storms. So be careful there too. In the Cook Islands, not that much, but there might be a few stronger showers eventually. And even in Easter Island is showing a cold front or two with a few showers. So be aware, the Marshall Islands, Micronesia does just those showers and storms from the intertropical convergence zone. And yeah, so stay safe in those areas. Just checking Australia shows like those showers and storms probably tomorrow into Sunday, like Saturday into Sunday, across New South Wales, Victoria showing some more showers and storms. So be careful. Sundays might be strong. Shows like by Monday, finger two northern New South Wales, especially Tuesday there, Tuesday morning, Tasmania shows another front. Then Wednesday afternoon shows still more scattered showers and storms in Queensland. Be careful, some hail and some stronger showers. It shows Wednesday in New Zealand choose some rain from this front, especially next Thursday, the 27th, is showing very strong front in New Zealand. but that's still far, so don't worry so much about that. But be careful the showers and storms, like today until Wednesday, so like from now Friday until Wednesday, shows some 90 millimeters spotted through the mountains, New Zealand, and those scared showers and storms spotted in Australia, in eastern Australia there, and even southwestern Australia is still getting some rain too. So be aware. And this video we won't go too deep for Australia, but just a reminder, those heat wave temperatures across spots of Queensland into Northern Territory and Northern South Australia, so 42 to 43 degrees Saturday, and then the dust shows Sunday, even 45 degrees a few spots Western Queensland 44, some 43 South Australia, and spots Central Western Australia too, just slightly cooler in the southwest and the southeast. So Sunday does decrease during the night, but like still shows 33 degrees during the night. It's still quite hot. So be careful. And then Monday might get very extreme, some 46 degrees South Australia, spots there along southern Northern Territory. So be careful in those areas. It shows like some 45 degrees Queensland, even to northern New South Wales. So stay safe. It does cool down southwestern Australia because of those fronts, and spots in the southeast as well, some 6 degrees in Tasmania. But next Tuesday, especially across Queensland, still some 45 degrees. So stay safe from the heat because it can be very dangerous. Tuesday, next Wednesday, still hot. So be careful in those areas, and still southern New Zealand, quite chilly in a few mountains in New Zealand still. So be careful, and a hint of snow in Tasmania is possible. So be aware. And now moving on to our next possible tropical cyclone there in the Bay of Bengal. So there's a lot of heavy rain and flooding a few spots in southern Thailand, into Malaysia, and spots there northern Indonesia now. So Friday, Saturday shows and all the way through next week this moisture gathering near northern Sumatra and the southern Nicobar Islands in those areas. So Tuesday, the European develops a tropical storm in the southern Bay of Bengal and tracks towards eastern India, and thus get a quite strong cyclone there by Sunday the 30th into eastern India. So this is a real threat because many models have been showing this. So please be aware, but in the meantime, be careful northern coast of Sumatra, like the island of Sumatra, Indonesia. The northernmost tip shows more than 500 millimeters in the next 5 days, like spots to 300 to 534. So please stay safe in those areas. There in the west coast of Sumatra, more than 300. So please stay safe with flooding. The GFS in southern Thailand to 400 spots there. The icon is the east coast of Thailand. There, southern Thailand, more than 200. The icon is just 30 millimeters, where the European has 500. That's an insane difference. But yeah, I don't trust that a lot. Be careful. Those very heavy showers and storms, northern Indonesia there, and then shows across Vietnam as well. Spots to some 200 millimeters next 5 days. So please be careful. If I put it until December 5th, it does show this cyclone possibly tracking towards India with more than 300 millimeters, spots in eastern India to southern Bangladesh. So please monitor this because this is a possible threat. But for now, just be careful. Indonesia, the heavy rains, and Vietnam, you gotta watch that system from the Philippines in case it does make it towards Vietnam. So be careful too, and warn others. Now there's the ensemble, the European, it does show a lot of support for something to form in the Philippines or in the South China Sea, right by the Philippines there. So be careful, and especially next few weeks, it does show the Google AI. It's more consolidated in the South China Sea, the Google AI. So the probabilities are higher spots there in the South China Sea. but be careful over the Philippines too. The Google AI has like spots there near Sri Lanka, southern India, but especially the one there near in Indonesia that might go towards eastern India. And the European model itself, most of the members are going through the Bay of Bengal in eastern India as a tropical storm or even a cyclone until the end of November into December. So please monitor this and just show in the Arabian Sea a thing or two as well. So be aware in those areas, please monitor. Now let's see South Pacific if it shows anything. So there's Fina there in Australia, and it does show some members there crossing through Fiji. The model itself didn't show any tropical storm development, but by these corners, this tropical depression, tropical storm strength, these members here. But this might be just the tracks of weak low pressure systems. It might not be a tropical cyclone because the model showed like a lot of rainstorms coming through these areas from the front from that actual tropical cyclone further south. So this might not be tropical, but like I showed you, there might be a lot of heavy rain. There will be a lot of heavy rain across Fiji in those areas. So stay safe. Please be careful in those areas. And the tropical depression probabilities in the Bay of Bengal next week are quite high as well. Spots there just north of Indonesia, and then there into the Bay of Bengal, still some 70 to 80%. So please keep monitoring that and be careful in those areas. So let's see in the next 5 days in the Maldives, maybe more than 100 millimeters. Sri Lanka, southernmost India, a few showers and storms might be heavier. So just monitor that. And just to mention here, because it's worth it, Siberia is already to like minus 44 to minus 45 degrees Celsius during the night. So please stay safe. That the extreme cold and this fluctuates almost every day, but please stay safe. Some nights might be around minus 45 or even less, especially the wind chills. Most of Central Eastern Russia into northern China, Mongolia, very cold, and the Himalayas, Tibet are actually like minus 27. So please just be careful, and we might go into more depth in a few days in another video, but please be aware as well. And the snow crossing from Eastern Europe to Central Russia. So only the next 5 days shows more snow, most of Central Europe, especially in Eastern Europe into Western and Central Russia. So please be careful in the Pacific across Eastern Russia, and it even shows in Japan next 5 days in the north and a few mountains, Central Japan and the Eastern Himalayas. So be careful in those areas and please monitor, especially because Europe might keep getting snow until mid next week. So be aware, and we will have more updates. Let's just check if there's anything crazy. The wind, there's still some gusty winds near the northern Philippines, near Japan as well. Today, there with Cyclone Fina, of course, and then there's show occasionally stronger winds near Fiji, that system there, and sometimes near French Polynesia, some weak low pressure systems nearby next week. So be careful this weekend too. In Australia, does show next Monday through Western Australia a front to some stronger gusts, and later through South Australia, New South Wales, some stronger gusts next Tuesday to next Wednesday. Spots there, especially New Zealand next Thursday, the 27th. But we'll keep monitoring that, so don't worry. But be aware, a few spots like southeastern Australia next Wednesday is showing pretty high, but there's still some time before that. So be aware, and those areas in the Pacific near eastern Russia, they get some strong winds, and those highlands, northern China into southern Mongolia, they usually get some strong winds, and same to eastern China too. But it varies a lot, and be aware spots in Europe as well, especially this week and into next week, some gusty winds in the Mediterranean, especially near Spain and France today and tomorrow, and more spots there. So stay safe.